Welcome to Meadowbrook Members Podcast. I am Jelly, otherwise known as Glista Prince, and my co-host is Hitchcock, otherwise known as Alfred Henry. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore the stories behind the magic that was created at Meadowbrook. When over a span of 4 years, between 1982 and 1986, we saw the transformation of a small coeducational school with less than 1,200 students, 800 boys, 800 girls and 400 boys into a successful sports and scholastic champion, winning 7 major trophies, 3 Sunlight Cup, 2 Topping Cup, 1 Walker Cup, and 1 Nutriment Shield. And to crown these achievements, Meadowbrook also produced 2 Rhodes Scholars, Cavell Creighton in 1987 and Andrea Wright in 1989, both graduates of Meadowbrook in 1983. In this podcast series, we'll be speaking to persons, both males and female, who were actively involved in this incredible journey, along with friends and staff at Meadowbrook, which inspired the environment which created this golden era. We hope you enjoy our discussion. Please give us as much support and encouragement as you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. Welcome and thanks for joining us. Oh, alright, ready? So, remember to like, share, and subscribe these Meadowbrook Members podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another Meadowbrook conversation. Thanks. Oh. Today is Monday, July 24th, 2023, and welcome back to another conversation about Meadowbrook Memories. Me, as usual, Glista, our Lance, our Jelly, our Prince, and by now you know say all of those names or anyone will do. Joining me as co-host today is the one and only Margaret Livermore, who has given me tremendous support behind the scenes and is mainly responsible for getting the females from Meadowbrook to join this conversation. So you should go back and listen to Margaret Meadowbrook Memories. You must go back to episode number 22 and make sure you like, share, and subscribe while listening. Our guest today will have to give a proper introduction because she was a supreme athlete at Meadowbrook who was admired by both males and females for athleticism and her supermodel looks, and she was always impeccable dressed when she walked around the Meadowbrook campus. It was no surprise to us at Meadowbrook that she produced a 400-meter Olympic champion for the USA with the same supermodel looks as her mother. So this guest was our supermodel at Meadowbrook before the word was even coined. She started Meadowbrook in 1979, 1 year after I started in 1974, and was responsible for the dominance of Saunders House while she was at school, mainly because she inspired other females to compete for her house, and she was gifted at spotting young, talented females. Her movements and exploits on the netball court are well remembered by all those who witnessed her skills, which resulted in her being chosen for the senior Jamaica national team, netball team, with her friend Grace Witter. This was historical because it was the first time that girls from Meadowbrook were called up to represent the senior Jamaica national netball team. And if it was not for the violence that surrounded the 1980 elections, we would have receipts to show for our female athletes' achievement. But without further ado, Meadowbrook members welcome Sharon Robinson Richards to the conversation. Introduce yourself, Sharon.
Nice, Prince. Hello, respect. Margaret, how are you? Boy, I listened to that introduction and I tell you, I try to figure out who that person we are talking about. But thank you so much for having me on this evening. I know it's been a minute that I've been trying to get with you, but I'm here now. And just like you said, I'm Sharon Richards, formerly Robinson. I actually started Meadowbrook in 1975. I know you meant to say 75, but you said 78, Prince.
Okay, yeah. 75, yeah. I think I said, but it might sound like 78, yeah.
Oh, you said 75,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
1975, graduated in 1980. Currently, I'm doing all the things, as you mentioned. My daughter is Sanya Richards Ross, 400-meter Olympic champ. I've been managing Sanya for many, many years, since 2005. Post track and field, she's still doing a whole lot of things. So I'm still her manager, her personal manager. I'm also a travel advisor. So after leaving school, I went directly into travel. I started with Air Jamaica And then I ended up at American Express Corporate Travel. And so travel is kind of my background. So I'm still doing that. What else about me now? Married to the same man for 39 years, two daughters, three grandsons, and just grateful, for the life that I've been given, and just very blessed and just happy to be connected with you guys this evening.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sharon. Thank you for joining us. And Margaret, to introduce yourself.
Hi, Sharon. So happy
Hi,
you're here.
Thank
I am Margaret Livermore, class of 1983. I'll just leave it at that so that we can get into this conversation because I'm so excited. I just want to say that I remember you, Sharon, from school. I remember you very, very clearly. I even remember down to the green socks that you used to wear.
Yo, you remember me, Margaret, for sure.
Yes, man. A lot of us looked up to you and admired you, and we still remember you.
Yeah, thanks, Margaret.
You're welcome.
I didn't even know so you could wear green socks, Sharon. You'd have break the rules.
Well, that is a whole different story. We get to
that, yeah. We get to that, yeah, man. But by the way, Sharon, anybody who come on them conversation, the first question we ask, did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook chose you?
Honestly, Meadowbrook chose me. And if I'm going to expand on it, here's how it went. So I'm one of 6 children, and I have a younger brother. But up to the point that I took my common entrance, all of my siblings went to Excelsior High School. And so it was supposed to be that I would keep that tradition. Hence, when I took my common entrance, Excelsior High School was my first choice, and St. Hugh's High School was my second choice. Well, my parents decided they were going to move to Havendale, which I had no idea that would have any bearing on the possibility that I wouldn't go to Excelsior. And so when common entrance results came out, and I checked the newspaper and I saw my name, it said Meadowbrook High School. Well, I mean, I can't say much more than that. But yeah, Meadowbrook chose me.
Meadowbrook chose you. So you had just where you used to live before, Sharon, before you moved to Havendale, and you moved to Havendale after you took the common entrance or before?
No, I was living in Havendale before I took common entrance.
Okay.
So I don't remember where we used to live before, because of course I was that much younger. We used to live in Mercy. See me, I tell you, my memory not good. But yeah, I was living in Havendale when I took the common entrance. But I felt like because all of my siblings had gone to Excelsior, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And my mother worked in the office of the Prime Minister. My father was a senior police officer. So I said, no big thing that, man. Let me just get somebody for just move that. Well, lo and behold, that didn't happen, because my parents felt like Meadowbrook was where I belonged. And I can expand on that later as to why they thought I belonged at Meadowbrook. So they didn't make any attempt to get me transferred.
And you sound like you were kind of disappointed, and I would be too, because I came to Meadowbrook and my brother and my sister was there. So it's like I chose Meadowbrook, so I can get the disappointment to say. So you never know the school there before then?
No, I felt like I was breaking the legacy. I had not heard about Meadowbrook High School before. So I was devastated. I was literally devastated.
I hear you, Sharon. I hear you. So wait, the first day you come on campus now, we're going at the fact why your parents have never decide say you need to stay at Meadowbrook. Why they make that decision?
Well, my brother, who I followed, was kind of my idol.
That's your brother named Wire?
Wire, my brother, yeah.
Yeah, man, I know him from Pembrokeshire. That's our familiar with him. He's a play ball at Pembrokeshire. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So Wire was my idol. And it so happened that at that time they had, I think, what you would call African studies or something like that at Excelsior.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, a lot of the Excelsiors, particularly the male, were all into Rasta.
Because that was the beginning of the Rasta, that's the height of the Rastafari movement. Yes.
Yes, and for whatever reason, I felt like I was a Rasta at heart. So then I felt like I belonged at Excelsior. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, being white, like a sister and everything, the stage would be set. And so, because I was so close to my brother, my parents, of course, my father being a police officer, was constantly fighting with my brother about his Rastafarian.
Of course, I can bet. Yeah.
They thought to themselves, we taking a big risk if we were to do that. So you know what? We don't want a Rasta daughter, so Meadowbrook it is.
And that was a common thing with a lot of parents in the early 70s in Sharon. It's like, it was the last thing a parent was. You couldn't come home and say, you hold on for a year and go and get twisted. A war.
Yes. I was already fighting with Wire. So then, of course, they had absolutely no intention of fighting with me, you know?
And for the record, Wire was the first one where accept the fate, them, I put it that way there, in your family. He was the first one to break the tradition. Okay, I got you.
Yes.
So I can see why them would be worried and I say, yeah, man, you look up to him, some of them I say, no.
Yes. And then the thing is that my parents, because of their professions, they were very busy, you know?
Yeah, man.
So I spent a lot of time with my brother.
Yeah.
So, of course, you know, they would have taken a risk if they made the change.
Yeah, man, and the fact that your father has seen a police officer make it worse.
Exactly.
We can find the 201 time and I just too much.
Yes.
Too much in the Robinson household. You can't have that the word at all. No. So then, Meadowbrook it was. All right. So the first day you come on campus, they say never know where the school is. When pressure you get when you come on Meadowbrook the first day or the first term, where you can remember? We remember about the school. What
I do remember is that it was smaller than of course Excelsior, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, yikes, how am I going to survive here? Because, you know, it's a small community. So I was a little frightened because I still say I'm shy. People say I'm not, but I think at the time I was shy and I was like, oh my God, how am I going to make friends? Whereas I figured if I'd gone to Excelsior because of the legacy of my brothers and sisters, everybody would just embrace me. So that was a little frightening for me. And then the uniform was a little frightening for me too, because the plaid, the first time I put on the plaid, the people around me said, what kind of uniform that is? What them call it again? Margaret, help me. What them used to call what plaid again?
The tartan?
Yeah, no man, but them used to clown with plaid uniform. I can't remember.
And a carpet or curtain cloth, them I call it.
Yes, something like that, you know.
And
that made me very conscious, you know. But then when I came in and I saw everybody dressed and everybody was so immaculately dressed, and then I started to feel like, you know, even at that time, I kind of knew that fashion was part of who I was. I was like, you know what, I'm going to make this fashionable. Hence the whole story of my fashion and where it began, right there at Meadowbrook in my plaid uniform. But it was very welcoming. You know, I made friends quickly. Didn't really struggle at all. What I do remember though was that I was drawn to some sixth formers who, like Alan Clark, who they did roots.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because there was a big Rastafari group at Meadowbrook at the time, though. Yes.
Yes.
The peers never know the matching in at all. No, exactly.
On the thing they didn't get me when they never said me go Excelsior.
Exactly. Clark, man. Yes. Yeah.
Even though they were 5 years my senior, I still felt at home with those guys, you know? So I felt very welcome. I felt at home at Meadowbrook pretty quickly.
That was nice. So you used to walk from school then, if you live in Avondale?
No, you're crazy. My father would make me walk from school. No, my father used to drop me at school every single morning, man. And then Wire would have picked me up.
Okay. So you live in Avondale, you now walk none at all, right?
No, sir. No, not at all.
I mean, I walk from Pembroke come to school. Yes, I hear you.
I feel really bad for you.
Yeah.
No, sir.
So what's some of the friends that you meet where you remember meeting at the first term in your class? What's some of the people your classmate them?
Well, one in particular who we lost earlier this year, Zandra Sutherland.
Oh, I remember
Zandra,
Jackie, the called me about her. Jackie Garvey had called me about her. Yes.
yes, and Jackie Garvey. Yeah, Zandra Sutherland. I started out as my closest friend. She lived like a street or two over, and so we used to drive to school together. So some mornings, Daddy would take us, and then we would switch, and her dad would take us. So Zandra Sutherland, first and foremost, was my friend. And then as time went along, and of course, started to play sports, which was my thing. I made friends in Grace Witter, Janet Strodick, Annette. What Annette the name again? I don't remember Annette's name.
Annette Carley attack?
No, not Annette Carley.
I know you're talking. Annette, Pepsi, not Pepsi attack. I know you're talking.
Yes.
Pepsi. Annette Myrie. She died, because recently Martin the talk about her. She died recently. Martin Brown spoke about her. Yes,
oh,
I didn't know that either, Sharon. Martin Brown and she was in the same farm. She used to live on a Mall Road. And she and Martin used to walk through Pembroke to go on Mall Road. Annette Myrie, as you call her name, I remember. Top class netball player.
Myrie.
Yes, Pepsi. Yeah, man, yeah.
Delia Brown, Karen Bryan, Karen Phipps, those were my initial friends.
And what some of the teachers that you remember, Sharon?
Jesus. Teachers. Other than Mr. Top, of course, who I had a lot of experiences with. I remember Mrs. Millwood.
Yes.
In particular.
Nice.
I remember,
teacher.
of course, Miss McLennan before she became
the principal in your last year at school. Yeah.
What is that? We are Facebook friends. Tall, brown skin, younger teacher. What name again? I think he went to Meadowbrook.
Oh, Mr. Bell Nevis. Jerry Bell Nevis.
Mr. Bell Nevis.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
He was a cool cat too,
Yeah, man. He was in sixth form when I got Meadowbrook. So yeah, he come back and teach geography. Yeah.
Yes. Mrs. Morris. Mrs. Morris, that right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Mrs. Morris was an English teacher.
Dr. Morris later on, and was the principal afterwards. So yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mrs. Morris. I could think more, but off the cuff, those are my memories.
But you said something was surprised me a while ago, Sharon. I'm not gonna make it slide. They say Mr. Top. A lot of serious, and that kind of weird to me that a girl and the principal have problems. That our conversation. You want to expand on that?
We had I spent a lot of time in his office.
Why?
And like Margaret said, because of the green socks.
Okay.
Because what happened was, of course, I wanted to make the uniform my own. And of course, when you have to walk up that walkway and Mr. Top sit down in the office, him just turn him head and look and see you passing. Well, I would always have on green socks. I always wore a high top pair of shoes, whether it be sneakers or shoes. I pierced my second hole in my ears from first form, so I always had one green knob, one blue knob that was not allowed. And just a series of things, So every time I walk past, him would say, "Robinson," and he would call me into the office, and he would make me take off everything and leave it in the office, and tomorrow I have it on again. So then, so it was a constant battle till I think eventually he gave it up,
You relented because you never give up on your fashion at all. You said, this is you.
No, this is me.
Yeah.
This is how I express myself.
Yeah.
And I thought I was always well dressed. It's just that I wanted to add a little spin to it, And I didn't think it was a big deal, but of course it was breaking rules, and Mr. Top wouldn't stand for it.
And you said, go ahead, Margaret, sorry.
I had no idea that at that time the green socks was a problem, because I remember Spanner saying that we could wear royal blue and bottle green socks. So I guess you're the reason for that change.
Maybe because when we first started, you were supposed to wear navy blue, I think it was. And then I used to combine them to, Margaret. I used to put on a green and blue socks and slouch them down. I man of evil in the fashion space.
Sharon, I stand up for your fashion statement, man. That's why I'm told. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I didn't know that, Sharon. I didn't know that at all, that you were such. I didn't want to use the word rebel. You just stand up for what you
Radical,
feel.
man, radical.
Yeah, no.
Well, the thing is, there was a little bit of rebel in it too, 'cause like I say, because I was sparred with my brother, and
Mm-hmm.
I did feel like, I
Mm.
know there's a question that you may ask me later that I will tell you how I saw myself at that time, Yeah.
So, you say you're attracted to sport. Was your family? I know why I used to play football at Permacal, I say for Valentine guy. Now, him don't know me, but I remember him. And the other day,
Yeah.
I met somebody who remember him. I think him even buy a from him, Bobby Fire, Robert the Kenny. Him buy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I'm as a horseman.
Right. That's why I hear, because I
Yeah.
check Fire with and Fire that to me say him talk to Wire all the while and deal with Wire.
Mm.
So your family itself is a sporting tradition? All on the play sport or just it's one?
Not at all. It was just me and Wire. My sisters, them couldn't catch a ball. Them couldn't do nothing like that. They were academians, whereas Wire and I had athletic genes. Not sure where we got it from, because at no point in time was mom or dad interested in athletic prowess at all. So not sure where it came from, but just Wire and I.
So you came to Meadowbrook then interested to play sports and then wanted to play sports?
100%. 100%. I think I was just naturally gifted, and especially because I would say I'm shy, or then I was definitely shy. I knew that I would have been able to make friends the minute I started playing sports, because I felt like I was a natural. I was able to just run. I remember in my younger days at primary school, Dad used to carry me to the police sports day, and he never ever came to watch me play sports ever. And then I would just show up to sports day and beat off all of the policeman children, and he was so proud, and he used to say, "See my daughter, see my." But then that was where it ended,
And this was before you started Meadowbrook, Sharon?
That was before I started Meadowbrook.
Oh, I got you. So you were a natural athlete from even before you started Meadowbrook then?
Yeah.
But and that was track and field, because you never took on netball before you come Meadowbrook?
No, that was just track and field. That was just track and field.
Yeah, you're naturally. Yeah, I remember that too. So you came to Meadowbrook then now, and who taught you how to play netball? Or that just come naturally to you?
I don't think nobody taught me. I think I may have just watched it and then just figured it out. I don't think I was taught. I can't remember being taught, but somebody may say differently. But I don't remember being taught. I remember just playing netball. And once again, I had my own mind about netball, where I never followed no rules. I was just wanting to be very flashy, and and so yeah. But Grace would remember more about our netball prowess. But
of course, you want just a certain way on the netball court the same way.
Oh, not to mention that. Oh Lord. Yeah. I remember the last class before we have all a netball match, and I'm sitting in the back, and I don't know nothing at all what going in at the front of the class to come and make sure that me get dressed, because we now have enough time with all the things and the bells and whistles where me have to put on at home. I have to get myself together,
For come on the court, yeah.
For come on the court, yeah.
No, sports was an outlet for me to Sharon, so I can well relate to that. If I never have sports, maybe I wouldn't even go to school so often at all, but sports was a definite outlet for me. So yeah. So, which in your early days, which one of the netball match you remember, or which team you remember playing as a rat? You just need to beat up that team, because I'm sure we ain't gonna Meadowbrook, them never have no reputation. But
Queens. I remember Queens just up the street, man, and we'd always want to beat Queens. Queens High School for girls. Yeah, I always remember when we win a Queens match, we feel like we win a trophy, because then we had our Merle Grove in our zone, and we had Arden, and them school did hard for beat, But if we beat Queens, we felt good.
Oh, that was like with the local neighbor, and like how we used to feel about Calabar. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
get you. Yeah, man. No.
Yeah.
So you when you started, you come on Meadowbrook now, you have run, and you know what name there. Cause it sound like you're just interested in fashion and running and sports. Did you find any time for doing schoolwork, or that was secondary to you?
Well, to be honest, when I think back at how the whole thing been set up, I felt like because I didn't go to Excelsior, I was on strike somewhat, almost like I felt like I was upset with my parents, for not allowing me to continue the legacy. And so I felt like I didn't do my best. I knew I had way more potential, but then, like you say, I got caught up being a star at track and field and a star at netball, and then I had my little fashion thing going on. So my focus was mainly there, So I didn't exercise my true potential in the academics area, and I beat myself up to today, even though I am supremely and extremely grateful for the life that God has given me up to today, without fulfilling my earlier days as a young woman.
Yeah. I know you say it that way. Let me ask a question this way. At what point did you just not say forget about Excelsior? Did you start embracing Meadowbrook and say, boy, yeah, you love that school, yeah?
No, by the time I start playing netball and run track, man, I never remember about Excelsior. But when I said that, I was just, in terms of the academic part, I just felt like that. I don't know for sure. It's just later in life, I said to myself, you never do your best, But you had so much more that you could have done. And I felt like that was, like I was carrying that vex. But no, after I settled down and I had my friends and we started to play netball and run track and field and those trips to what you call it, bottom field.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, by that time I had gotten over the disappointment.
So what was your favorite sports day you remember?
Jesus, my favorite sports day. I don't remember any particular sports day. I just know and you guys said I was in God, sure.
You weren't in Sanders?
No,
yes, ma'am.
Sanders.
No. I wore white and blue at sports day.
No,
What
you
for double check that?
What house was Blue House, Margaret?
God sure.
And I was in God
man.
sure, but you was
No,
not
mama.
in my house.
No,
you was a Sanders girl.
I was not a Sanders girl. I was not a Sanders girl. I was a God sure girl. Yeah, man, for real.
Listen, you were a host captain Sanders.
No, Margaret, I remember all one sports day I came out in a full white outfit that I got made at where Jumpy Harris them place name down a crossroads. Yeah, man, a full white outfit with blue trim. I can't see myself right now. I got sure. Yeah, man, double check those facts.
Yeah.
Up to last, listen. Prince, you remember her being in Sanders?
Yes, that's my memory, That is my memory,
all right.
Sharon.
Guess what?
No.
Last night I spoke to two people.
Sanders was Greenhouse?
Yeah.
Yes, that was Panna House.
No.
Let me ask you a question this way, Sharon. And this might trigger a memory.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and Janet was in the same house?
Yeah. No, we weren't.
Oh, God, Janet did not Sanders, so maybe you're right.
Janet was in Sanders. Yeah, no, man, I was in Godshore, for sure.
Maybe you're right, Sharon. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, man, me and Janet weren't in the same house.
And for the record, we talk about Janet Strudwick, so just in case you hear the conversation. So, yeah.
No, man, Janet and I weren't in the same house. I was definitely in Godshore. But, yeah, so, I mean, sports day for me was so much fun because I felt like, it came so easy, to just go out there and run and win. So I don't remember any particular one. I just remember that those were some amazing days. Yeah.
So when you think about Meadowbrook now in the early days, then where you remember most? What fun memory you remember most? Whether on the netball court in the classroom, what stand out to you when you think about Meadowbrook in the early days? But not talk about when you get in the older part, in the early days. Any particular memory stand out?
The thing that stands out most to me, and that brings a smile to my face about Meadowbrook, was when we had home netball games. And wow, and people can't wait to get out of them last period. And we outside a warm up, and everybody gather around the netball court.
Yeah.
Man, that was sweet.
Yeah, man. And they had the junior netball team up there and then the senior team up there.
Seniors
Yeah.
after.
Yeah. I remember that.
Those were some amazing days.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that.
Yes.
Margaret, do you have any question for Sharon?
Yeah, I wanted to know if you actually went to champs, because I think you did, but I'm not sure.
I did. 1 year I went to champs. I was completely terrified because I don't think I was prepared, because I was always against going to training, because I felt like I could just roll out of bed and run and win. So I was not prepared. So I went to champs and I didn't do well. And then after that, I wasn't interested in going back, because I felt like there were other kids from other programs, from other schools that were born for that, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, but I actually did Margaret.
Yeah, the track and field require a certain amount of discipline, and all I will make out for that at all. It's tough. It's a lonely sport on the train when you train by yourself. So yeah.
Well, tell me about it. Later in life, I found that out, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, with my daughter.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. It's a tough.
Yeah.
So you need to realize, Sharon, that the admiration you have throughout the school for both male and female, you weren't conscious at all.
No idea. No idea. Honestly, I had no idea. I was just out there doing my thing, and enjoying, loved what I was doing. But of course, I have my regrets about the fact that after I left Meadowbrook, I kind of never looked back, because for different reasons. Because when I left Meadowbrook, shortly after, my parents decided that they would have to migrate to the United States, and I wasn't prepared to do that. Now that was a little frightening for me, and so because all of my siblings were older, they said to me, "Well, you have two choices. You can either come with us, further your education, or if you stay home, you have to get a job, because we're going to the United States to start over." They don't know what's in it for them, because my younger brother has special needs, and he was kind of falling behind in school because he couldn't keep up with the curriculum and stuff. And so they opted to leave to be able to find somewhere where he could fit in better. And so I ended up staying with my older siblings, and I immediately had to become an adult. I joined Air Jamaica. My sister, one of my older sisters, was working with Air Jamaica, and I decided to join the Air Jamaica crew. And so I kind of grew up quickly, and that's how I kind of lost track of my high school friends, which I regretted, but that was the path that I took.
Because you became an adult almost immediately out of high school. You never have no chance at all, yeah.
No, because they gave me two choices. Come with them to America and further your education. If you stay in Jamaica, you have to be able to support yourself. And so I opted for the second option, and then I became a working woman right away.
You never ready for go foreign yet. I don't blame you.
No, it was very frightening to me,
Yeah.
So
Well,
I ended up doing that.
But let me ask you a question now, step back a little bit, because earlier I talked about young Grace making the Jamaica national netball senior team. Were you aware of the significance of that in terms of, say, when you make the Jamaica national team out as a schoolgirl from Meadowbrook? How did that go about?
Not at all. I mean, we were excited. I mean, when we got called for that team, I was completely shocked, because, of course, we come from an uptown school. So it was really, really weird. But we were excited. And I mean, Grace and I joined the training group, and we used to have to join them every Saturday morning. Of course, we I felt like I didn't belong because, of course, the other girls were from different kind of schools, and I felt like they were more mature, they were more skillful, and so I kind of felt inferior to an extent,
Int-
and felt like I never belonged, because them never know us, it was like me and Grace, who these girls are, them never know us. So I kind of did feel a little
you feel
like
intimidated,
I never
like.
intimidated is the right word. Thank you, Prince. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we were saved, like you said, with the elections. So
I would I
I
would put
wasn't.
I would put a saving now, Sharon, but I think it's not good enough. I don't want. I,
Yeah, I just didn't think I was, because like I say, the other girls, they came from other programs that were noted for having
prob-
netball players,
uh-huh,
really good
uh-huh.
netball players. I felt like me and Grace, well, not me, well, I should say me and Grace, because it was both of us, were just numbers, but
Yeah,
it didn't get a chance to play out
yeah,
for us to really see.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah,
of the
yeah.
elections.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you don't know
yeah.
really good you were because I never really get a chance at all. And let me ask you something about that though, because it at the time we get called for the Jamaica senior team, when I was a school girl, the girls that would get called were older girls, I don't know, or school girl
They
like us.
were. Oh, a lot of them were older. And that's what made it very intimidating. There were a few that were our age group, but a lot of them were older. So,
Then
yes, definitely.
Then I realize how good you was, Sharon. And that may I tell you. It must intimidate you, because a schoolgirl is like you get called for play with big woman. I say, but you not belong
Ex-
yourself.
Exactly. In retrospect, yes, but at the time, you know, you're not thinking, oh, I'm that good.
No, no, you know, I
I'm
think
just
that. No,
thinking,
especially from a
no, I'm
school like
just thinking,
Meadowbrook. Exactly, because
yeah, like, why am I here?
you never get prepared for that at all, to say, right, you belong there so at all, because you come.
Exactly.
Maybe
Exactly.
if you did that Excelsior now, they would have a you say, yeah, man, I belong here, saying that people are Excelsior.
Right.
Well, no, and not even that alone. No. Maybe you might have had people at Excelsior who had done it before.
Sure,
And
of
would have come and
course.
said to you,
Of
but
course.
Meadowbrook was breaking grounds. When was breaking
We
grounds?
were. We really were.
And I
We
break
really
glass
were.
ceilings, as the mother says. So, no, that's a significant
Yeah.
thing, man. Because,
Yes.
I mean, later on in the sports, the boys, them did break whole heap of glass ceiling and we start win.
Mm-hmm.
But only to set the pace earlier in terms of, wait, name there. What they do for the netball thing. And it not known at all that much in terms of what it happened. It's when, I think of Grace, me and her talk, that's what I remember it. I never remember it at all, Sharon. It's when she had told me, I remember. I did
But
not.
you know what? It wasn't until Grace told me. I mean, I don't remember what happened. I just remember that it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I don't remember why it didn't happen. I don't remember playing a game or sitting on the bench or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Representing Jamaica or anything. I just know it didn't happen. But
mm-hmm.
like I say, because I had so many doubts, I doubted myself so much. And of course, I never mind that it went away because I was terrified. It's only now that I'm like, man, that was a missed opportunity, kind of in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something does come up with a change the whole of that completely.
Yes,
I
yes.
have a question right here.
Yes, Margaret.
Sharon, do you think if you had I don't know if you did or not, but I'm just saying, if you had a coach that was kind of building up your, not ego is not the right word, confidence,
Mm-hmm.
that was able to build your confidence, do you think that would have made a difference in how you felt?
You know what? I could actually say yes, Margaret. You know why? Because I've had to do that in my real life with my own child.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, my husband and I became her support system when we realized that she was talented. My husband, likewise, played soccer for Harborview, played soccer for Excelsior. My husband was a spectacular winger, and
Call him name, Sharon. We don't want the man. We want to call the man name and big him up. Same way.
my husband is Archie Richards.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And so Archie too felt like he too didn't fulfill his potential, even though he played some really good ball in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say yes to that, because having for my daughter and seeing where she took it,
Mm-hmm.
kind of tells me that maybe had I gone that route. And you know what, Margaret, I also think if my parents even supported me even a little bit, if my mom or dad even showed up to one track event and watched me, I think maybe it would have been different. Because a lot of my daughter's success came from the fact that every time she went to a track, her dad and I or her dad was there with her,
Right.
you know?
Got you.
And there was just a certain amount of confidence that she got from just being able to look up in the stands and see her parents. So
Right.
I think that those were the things that I was lacking.
Okay, got you.
And
It makes sense.
You
I've
know?
heard that from a couple of people from Meadowbrook as well. I remember Dwight Lawrence saying something similar about
Yeah,
him and his
yeah,
football career.
yeah, and the parents,
yeah.
some parents they go worse than you, Sharon. Some parents forbid them children for even go play. At least your father and
Ah,
mother allow you to play. Some of us, I
yeah,
was fortunate.
yeah,
I was like in your position. My mother and father
yeah.
never come and no cricket match for me, none at all. This is what I said to you, so it's not like, so it never made a difference to me, sis, because I just love it and passionate about it. And I think what Margaret said important, well, a system around us a little later on, because Mr. Year to come on and them change the whole culture of the school in terms of like
Nice.
a sporting culture and a system. So that was lacking in the early days. We not disrespect nobody, but just a whole
Yeah.
complete thing. It would have make a difference. When you know say
Right.
you have a support system behind it. I didn't have a mother and father like you, Sharon. So I know exactly what I have.
Right, and not lay no blame there because my mom and dad, like I said, because of their careers,
Yeah.
they worked a lot, you know. But I don't. They weren't sports people, you know.
No,
My
right.
mother never played sports. My dad, I don't think ever played sports. So then sports didn't really mean anything to them,
No,
you
no.
know.
Same
And
here, Sharon. My mother and
yeah,
father never even go watch a test match, a cricket match, or a football match. So,
right, right,
so I know exactly what you're
exactly,
talking about, man. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah,
But as you're talking about
yeah.
your daughter, though, at what age you recognize that she was talented in terms of say, look and say, right, it's really good.
Well, to be honest, I'll give all credit to my husband. When she was 7 years old, you know, in the community, our kids used to play outside, and she would race the boys,
Mm,
and she would beat the boys on the street,
mm-hmm.
in a foot race. And my husband said, "Wait, I want to make this girl a beat, you know." And then one night him said to me, him said, "Darling, no matter what, no girl now beat me. Me no care how old me was, no girl now beat me." You understand? And him say, sister, every time she beat the boy them. I mean, them push her down, them kickball in her bicycle, them do everything the way them vex when she beat them. I'm said to me, said, "Darling, there's something special, you know. Because look how she beat the boy them." And that's where it was birthed.
And that time we still live in Jamaica and was up here at the time.
No, man, we still lived in Jamaica. She was 7 at the time, and we left Jamaica when she was 12.
Okay, I got you. She actually grew up in a Jamaica and up to high school. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, she went to Vast Prep, and then she did 1 year at Immaculate, and then we migrated.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know, I see it. So
but
your husband is the one that spot the talent then and just decide to nurture it and
100%, 100%.
the rest.
And he said to me, him just said to me, "Boy, darling, we can't make what happened to we happen to her." You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So just tell me what part you want to play in nurturing this talent.
Mm-hmm.
And so I became a fitness instructor, and learned how the body work and all of that. And I was the first one to introduce her to lifting weights at about age 14.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we kind of just put hands and heart together. A lot of people might have thought at the time that it was more about us than it was about her, but it was all about her. She wanted it so bad. And so, we just facilitated it for the want of a word.
Mm-hmm. 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 No, very good, Sharon. I'm glad you and your husband saw the talent and encourage it and nurture it and it blossom out through it, So yeah.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
But let me step back to Meadowbrook a bit though, because I want to ask you a question in terms of say, and I tell you I was going to ask this question. What was the most embarrassing moment you can remember looking back at Meadowbrook? You can remember, look back with a smile.
Well, we kind of touched on it. Earlier, and it had to do with how frequently I was in the principal's office and how frequently I got detention. Because I remember one time, him said to me, "No, this is enough now. You need to go get your parents. Don't come back without your parents." And I knew I couldn't call my parents, because if I did call my parents, I would be in so much trouble. it would be ridiculous. And I remember not being able to go home because I said, don't come back without them. And him just saw me hanging around the school. And him said, Robinson, why are you here? And I started to cry. And I said, sir, I cannot go for my parents. And him gave me, I had to write the scriptures. I want to say scriptures. So must I write scripture for about a whole week in detention because he was able to find some kind of compassion, even though it was kind of tough, in the fact that I said to him, I couldn't go for my parents, because I'd been in more trouble. And so, that was embarrassing because when my friends would leave in the evenings, I would have to stay under detention and I would have to write out the Bible until I think him eventually told me to stop, but I was writing and writing and writing and writing.
I have two follow-up questions. I have two follow-up questions on that. How old were you at the time?
I want to say I could have been about 14.
Oh, so like
I came to Meadowbrook at 12, so maybe it's about third
farm. Yeah.
Yeah, about third or fourth farm.
And a more important question, did that change your behavior?
What do you think? No, sir. I was just who I was. I used to just make sure, I try and steal time way more.
You hide from him, you learn.
I would have. You see the dog before you see him, right? I remember I used to have him dog, and you see the dog come peep first, and when you see the dog, him coming. So I used to just try to stay out of his way, and then I think eventually he just gave up on me.
You know what, Sharon, I'm going to say this, though, as a female, you're lucky. In them days, if there's a boy, I do what you do. The amount of caning when I get.
I get caning, yeah, man. I used to feel bad for him, man. when him close him drape in my face.
Yeah, man.
yeah. You want to know who behind the drape?
Yeah. So we'd have to find a better way to deal with it than you. We'd have to just hide from him from a long time. I remember Dante come on and say, Jelly, me used to hide from Spanner. She mark me by my bag. It's like go talk with a mark by your socks. Same give him friend him bag. And she thinks you him, but at the bag she say. So
yeah, man. So you feel smart then, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think I used to just hide from him as much as I could. And then eventually him just gave up on me, He used to just look at me and just look off. I was like, all right, we're good then.
And the next thing come to my mind though when you say it, because he must have known who your parents were, and for the fact that him never, and if you remember, I said, them days, it's not so easy for, because principal never call your house them days, like how them
no.
Because it's like not everybody probably have a phone and a cell phone exists. Them probably couldn't find the parents or something.
No, that never, him couldn't find them, but him tell me don't come back without them. So I mean, I cannot come to school unless my parents brought me to school. Yeah. And I know there was nothing I could go home and tell my parents that would make them come to school with me, and I don't feel the wrath of it later.
So I think he should have known who your parents were. He must have.
But there's a more than likely.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So I'm saying if we really want to find him, but I just think about it, and as I said, 40 years ago we are talking about close to maybe. Yeah. Is that different way people are doing things? I know them days. I know your parents. You get a text for your son or your grandson or your granddaughter long before. I says, why Sharon wear this come to school? Or you get a phone call.
Yes, different time.
A different time. No, right. No. Yeah. And as I said, it never changed at all. So just go up on your merry way same way with the fashion statement same way.
Just go up on my merry way same way.
So, which song you remember rock your Meadowbrook? Which song they rock the place at the time you go Meadowbrook? It could be any song, reggae, overseas, or anyone. If you want any more than one, that would be nice.
Well, I'm a reggae girl, hands down. And I remember this song by Altie and Donna was say, see me in me heels and ting. Them check say we hip and ting.
Uptown top ranking.
Me think me was the Uptown top ranking. If you ask my kids right now, what song them associate with their mom, them going to say, see me in me heels and ting. And them never even know the song. You understand? Them learn it later in life. That was my song, and I thought them was singing about me.
Mm.
hands down.
You want that song that played bring you back right back to the 70s.
Yes,
Yes, yes, yes, yes.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
my song.
I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. Let me ask you a question. I tell you I was going to ask you this question because me and you talk about some of the questions yesterday. It's like, and is a challenge, what you think can be done to get Meadowbrook past student for one to give back to the school? Not have to, but
Yeah,
motivated for one to give back. Because I can't force somebody to do it, you know.
right.
What you think can
True,
be done or should be
true.
done? Yeah.
And I regret myself that I have not been involved for more reasons than one. And of course, it can be considered as an excuse too. But then when I left Meadowbrook, I wouldn't. I would say that I kind of never looked back because my life had its trajectory, and then it just kept going and kept going. And I was a young mother, and so I didn't know what was going on with Meadowbrook. I know I would see on Facebook Carl and what them brother their name again? Carl.
Har-
It
The
was it
Samoda
was
them?
no.
what you say? No.
Carl Harris,
It
you
was three
talk?
brother Harris, the Harris brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Carl and
I would
Gary.
always Carl and Gary. Yes. And I remember seeing them, posting about Meadowbrook things. But I always felt like I don't have no connection with nobody. So how I'm going just go show up and so that was my excuse. But I honestly feel like, and I know I was invited one time to a New York chapter, like them have some gala or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember being invited, and I felt like I was going to go. And then I just got cold feet and said, Lord of mercy, I'm going to go to a place where I don't know anybody. And I didn't go, and I was disappointed in myself. So, I feel like with social media now, that's a way to kind of connect with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I don't know how it would work for me. I would love to, because like even right now in my life, I'm spending my time bringing women together from different walks of life. So I have kind of broken out of that what I call shy. So I think, like for me, if there is a way to connect, now is the time that I think I'm ready and prepared to connect. So I don't know that I have the answer as to how to get us all connected. Because I know, like the young lady whose podcast I listened to yesterday, she's the younger generation, and I'm sure I don't know if they have ways that they connect with one another, the younger generation. But I wish I had the answer, and I know I'm babbling about it, but I'm not absolutely sure. But I would like to be involved. And I'm happy that I'm connected with you guys now. And Margaret, once again, like I said, thank you for, not letting up and always reaching out to me and reminding me that, we want to talk to you, and I'm like, oh God, Margaret. But here I
Listen,
am today, here I am today, and nothing happens before the time.
true.
And
But let me tell you something, Sharon.
yeah,
You really have no idea of the impact you had on students at the school. You have zero idea.
I do.
Last night I spoke to 3 different people, and 2 of them were in Saunders. I don't know if Spanner thief you from where, because Spanner had a tendency to take the best and put them in
Yeah, yeah,
Saunders
yeah.
because that was her house. So
Yeah,
I
no, man,
don't
she
know if
never
you were
teeth
in
me.
God
She never
or
teeth me.
initially.
She
No,
never
maybe
teeth me.
she
She
teach your
never,
man because
she never,
you ended up being. Listen,
Margaret,
listen
Margaret.
to this. No,
Margaret,
let me
my memory
correct
bad,
you.
but me I tell you, say, me was God sure from the day I walk through the door till the day I leave. Me I tell you,
You want me get a quote from somebody from Maurice Minot?
what Maurice might not say.
I said, do you remember Sharon Robinson? He said the finest Saunders girl ever. Fine athlete and netballer. The girl that the first farmer in 1979 lusted after. Fashionista like no other.
Oh,
Direct
that
quote,
is,
right?
oh man.
Caroline Simpson, who is from Saunders,
Yeah,
remembers you as,
Caroline. Yeah.
there you go. She
No,
remembers you as
man.
being an awesome athlete and a great house captain and leader. She was in Saunders as well.
No, no, no. All right, me not gonna fight with you, no, but me just know
Um,
say
and,
if there's a
When me go
if
take
there's a
you
way
now,
for me to find
you
out,
know what, Sharon? I don't know why all of us think you were in something. Maybe because you were so good and everybody good was in Saunders, athletics
Maybe
wise.
that's the reason why,
That's
Sharon.
true. That's true. That's true because most of the athletes were athletes. But I was in God sure. Believe me when I tell you, I was.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah, God
Yeah,
sure.
man. Yeah. But yes, I wish I had the answer for that question, Prince. But I don't think I do because
No,
I've
it's not an easy question, Sharon, because there's no.
I've not played my part. Why have I not played my part?
Well,
No,
It's really a
you
stupid
know,
reason because I'm worried about not knowing people and all of that.
no, but you
Um,
know what, Sharon?
mhm.
Don't beat up yourself. Let me tell you why. Remember that when we left Meadowbrook, there was no real um way to connect unless I don't even know if we had a old student association then.
Okay.
Don't remember that
Okay.
being there. So
Okay.
it took social media for me to connect with quite a few people. I still have some friends that I stayed connected with,
Mm-hmm.
a few, but my biggest connection came with Facebook.
Okay. Okay.
So it was different back then. People didn't
Right.
necessarily go back to their high school or things like that in those days.
uh, uh,
Right.
let me say something about this, Sharon and Margaret, because I think, and you're right, Sharon, in a sense, it's harder for connect. And I'm going to tell you, that's the bigger school, them, the traditional school, and the KC, the Calabar, even Excelsior. Most of the time, my connect is a sporting tradition, my connect through, believe it or not.
No, that's true.
And it's not until
Well,
we started to win in the 1980s when you heard the introduction of the podcast, how much cricket trophy and win the football trophy. I see that group of students in the 1980s. We are the connectors. Me not say it for say me not disrespect nobody else, but because we stayed in touch because we won so much trophies, everybody keep in touch with each other. Because winning tend to do that. If you check the money, go KCR, Calabar, Excelsior, they relate to the money when they play football or cricket because they win. You see what I'm saying to you? So we never have a tradition,
sure.
Sharon, before. It's after you leave school, you start have the tradition there. You see what I'm saying?
And I will agree with you because I'll tell you what, as I said before, I'm surrounded by Excelsorians, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Because my husband is an Excelsorian. My brother, of course, and he married an Excelsorian. And so let me tell you, man, for them past student thing is something special. Meaning my husband has a Zoom call once a month with Excelsorians that he graduated with from 1970, wherever. You understand? So it's next level. Them take it to next level. But for the most part, I know, like for my husband, of course, all of them played soccer together. All of them played football as
Exactly.
we
That's
know it.
exactly the point
Together,
I make.
you know?
Yeah, exactly the point
Yeah,
I make.
yeah,
It's like the sporting tradition is where, believe it or
yeah.
not, and the same thing here too. Most of the people I'm proud, as sports drive the industry here, believe it or not. It's very few school. You have and I have the Ivy League school, but it's like the tradition now are bringing the crowd and the money. It's a sporting tradition. It's sports
True,
tradition. And it's
true,
Meadowbrook.
true.
When I started this podcast, it's the main reason why. Not to say it's a reach level it reach, My goal
Yeah.
was, we won so many trophies in the 80s, Sharon, and nobody never talk about it. I'm saying, you know what, I hear myself to myself, you know what, even if me just have a talk to the cricketer, just like what your husband have for cricketer and football, them, I'm say, I'm going to talk about it publicly instead of having a private conversation. So I'm going to
Good,
invite some
yeah.
people and me and them talk and we chat about it. And that's how it started. If you notice, a lot of the early podcasts was focused on sports. Because that's how we
Sure.
know. And it build the momentum. People hear it and that's how it build. So it's something with the
Right.
start. I never knew it's a reach as a Sharon. That was my intention. Me just say, you know what, even if me go do all of the football and cricket, man, after 30 or 40 podcasts, me don't chat. Me have that to listen for the rest. Me have that to listen for the rest of my life and laugh about it every time I want to laugh and go listen back. But it turned out bigger than that.
Fantastic.
But I see what you say. What you say is true, I think the time has come where we as Meadowbrook can build and galvanize something where other schools have. I think we just come of age now for that. I think that's what I say. Because you ready for comeback and feel shy no more about it. Yeah, say, you know what?
No.
And that good fear is, and I think the timing is just perfect. It come out the way it come out that way. I said, boy, people want to give back. And then you won. a whole heap of people want to give back, but they say, and next thing we have to find is find what we're giving back for.
Right.
It has to be a bigger goal.
Which,
Yeah, go ahead, Margaret. Sorry.
No, exactly. No, I was going to say exactly. You know, we need to get checked in. We need to check in and find out exactly what is going on. You know, instead of just say we want to give back and we just say, oh, let me just draw a check or me
No,
do this and that.
exactly.
And you don't know what it's being used for. You know, so we really need to check in. That's the first step.
We have a bigger vision to say this is how we want to be looking at the age of 100, then at 35 years, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to you, so the messaging of it tighten up around and say, boy, because when I talk to some youth who are younger than me, and I see him say, boy, Jelly, me that give back, you know. But when you heard him say, what am I going to get feed? That's the one, you know, what am I giving for?
Yes.
You see, I'm saying to you,
what's
what?
The mission?
Yeah, man,
What's
exactly. It's have to be bigger than we too, you know. Mission have to be bigger than we. So, it's not about, you know, me not do it, anybody will do it. Can't if you say you want a photo up, it's like you're bigger and I say, boy, you want Meadowbrook so greater and better and bigger. And we can't do it. We can't do it. And we are search for the answer and it will come out of them conversation because people are here and talk about it and all them. So, yeah.
Well, you know what, Jelly? We don't even need one answer because you have people who have started doing things. And I keep going back to Martin because I was so blown away by his podcast and what he's willing to do.
Yeah, and
tell me a little about that.
Tell Sharon about Martin. Sharon will know Martin if you see him picture. Martin was a year older than me. Martin Brown, he was in the same farm with Jeffrey Walters and was a year older than me. You remember Peaches? You used to play netball too. Used to play netball, Peaches. The year older than me. So when you come to school, Martin would have been in third farm, Sharon.
Okay.
So I'm saying
what is Martin's last name?
Martin Brown. I went send him podcast and
Martin Brown.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I know Martin Brown. Yeah, I know the name. Yeah.
Yeah, but talk about how Martin Floor impact you, Sharon. Margaret, go ahead.
Okay, so Martin was talking about his academic career, right? And he was saying that some of the subjects he was really, really good at, and then some he really sucked at. But in later years, he found out by coming to America and going to college here that he was dyslexic.
Correct.
So that was why he was having such a problem with some of the subjects.
Sure.
And by talking about that, he decided that he wants to provide resources to help children in first and second form to get diagnosed. Like children are having problems to get evaluated and diagnosed and see how we can best help. So the fact that he's willing to put his resources, financial and otherwise, up to do something like that for the children, that is a big deal to me. It's a really, really big deal to me. Yeah, and that's given back in a huge way. So each person, you don't have to give back in any specific way. But if something is in your heart and touch
and it resonates, sometimes it resonates with you.
Yeah. Like for example, I was just thinking, you were just saying about your lack of confidence in your abilities, right? Everybody who has ever seen you at school recognize your ability. I remember Caroline Simpson saying last night that you're a giant in the sports arena at Meadowbrook. He called you a giant. You see what I'm saying? So if you could even spend a couple of minutes or a day or whatever to talk to some of the people who have talent, but nobody recognizes. Well, not that it's not recognized, it's not developed. Just to share your story and how you've,
of course,
impacted your daughter's career.
Of course, I would love
make
to.
A big difference.
I would love
what you
to.
see, I'm going to put a different spin. The same in a sense. I'm going to add to what Margaret. And Sharon did say it, you know. Because Sharon said she started put together some group now in terms of try. And that's something similar like that in a sense. that have to start. It not have been a big alum thing. It's like you have a group of people decide that that's what I got focus on to build a group of students to teach them how to do certain things, Sharon. And because
Sure.
of the exposure and your experience, you can teach a whole heap of the girls in a Meadowbrook alum now and say, come, you can't put a group together to say I got to do that then. I think that's what Margaret's saying. Who look up to you. You see me, I say to you, because you have the capital in terms of, not money, but I'm saying, you have the social capital because because the exposure where that I've given you, because it was blessed in terms of, me. If you step forward and say a certain thing, trust me, a whole heap of people listen to you. I think that's what Margaret's saying. I think that's what Margaret's saying, Sharon. So yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, I embrace that, because like I said, I think I'm at a point in my life now where, I'm willing to share. I don't feel now like I am inadequate in certain areas. So, I'm ready and willing to have any conversation, to be included in any conversation that could potentially, give back.
And you say put it, and that's all it take most of the time, You saw this podcast, I just start the conversation, a group of people. And Margaret can start put things together in terms of say, you got to start, put a group together, you got to start this. Small group at first.
Listen, it can go into any form.
Any different way, right?
Formal group.
No, nothing formal. No, exactly, Margaret. Exactly, video conference, exactly.
Anything. You can choose whatever. You can give 5 minutes, you can give 5 hours.
Exactly. And then the ideas that will come once they start talking. That's how the key, The ideas that will come.
For sure.
The ideas that will come. And then this is one of the reasons why I like getting on females on the program, because as I say in the introduction, Sharon, it's 2-to-1 girls to boys at Meadowbrook. There's a whole lot more women come on Meadowbrook than man. You see what I'm saying to you?
True.
And when I started this conversation, people are saying, Jelly want to the girl. I ask them, and I'm shy for come on. So if by you coming here and Sharon, I will probably people go listen and say, but yeah.
Okay, well, this took a long time for me to get here, so hopefully this will be encouraging,
Yeah, man, right.
Others will want to come on and share.
As I said, Margaret, it's not like there's no one size fits all for none of them things at all. The idea them would just flow in terms of where you can give back. Because with Martin idea, as I say, Martin, I talked to him yesterday, Margaret, I'm going to have a pilot program for that. I'm going to talk about it more after the year with that. Because Martin wants to start something that we alum where we start primary school, primary. So I'm going to start this. So I'm saying, because we want something for primary. Because I had a podcast for primary too. As you know, I don't know if Sharon didn't know that. She said, I for Meadowbrook, I for primary, because that's my grow up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man,
okay.
yeah. Primary memories, yeah.
Nice.
So I plan for this. We actually register and line up a group, organization already, and then we're going to use, not Martin embrace what we do and say, boy, Lance, this can't go in the direction. I'm saying, Martin, any way you want to take it, we can't take it, because if we can discover youth with disability early and save them, if you listen to Martin's story, Sharon, and I'm going to send it to you when I'm done. If you listen to it,
yes,
you see the impact, what it had the impact on me and Margaret. You saw what I talk about. I've never heard a story like that because I didn't know. I did not know.
Yeah, wow.
And for the fact that you can fix it and know how to fix it, or it can be fixed at an early age where it can help children. It can make a big... Even for that alone, we do. Trust me, Margaret.
Yeah.
If we don't do nothing else at all, and Martin called it, this is how Martin called it, Margaret and Sharon. Martin said to me, Jelly, our Lance, him say, we want to leave intellectual legacy. Mr. Martin, I'm going to borrow that word and use it over and over. Nobody can argue when you put it away there. You want to change youth life. Just imagine if something like that can take off in one primary school and you just, as a pilot, and use it for only for primary school and high school in Jamaica. How much youth life you going to change?
Change, 100%.
That's something I look on that, That's something I look on that.
Yeah.
And you have no problem with people that step forward and say, boy, how much you need or what you need. Tell me what you need to do.
What you need.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I look forward to start the pilot program, Margaret, and I will send you Martin conversation, Sharon, because you once a year you saw what I talk about. But
nice.
But may I ask you the next question, Sharon, in pertaining to that now. Because I believe it or not, but they talk for a little more than an hour. No, you can't believe so they talk for so long already.
Really? I thought I had 15 minutes max for you.
No,
based on what I remember.
But let me ask you something though. What the best
Yeah,
learning
man.
experience you get from Meadowbrook?
Best learning experience. I would say teamwork. You know, maybe camaraderie. Um, because like I say, I came there feeling shy, feeling out of sorts, and then coming to Meadowbrook, I learned teamwork. Um, and yeah, I would say teamwork and camaraderie was two of the things that I learned at Meadowbrook and enjoyed at Meadowbrook, and I'm proud to. It gives me good memories, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
would say,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And we had just asked Meadowbrook, which student and which teacher inspired you the most? You look up to them, but put it that way there.
Which student and which teacher? I can't really identify. My memory not good, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can't remember teacher. I just know said there were quite a few six farmers. It's really weird that I admired a whole lot, even as a first farmer. You know, um, I remember Minerva.
Minerva
What is
TM.
Minerva?
Minerva TM.
Minerva
And she used
team,
to play
yes,
netball. She used to play netball too.
Minerva used to play netball, and Minerva was a prefect or even something more than that, maybe a what you call them again? What you call it? The top prefect, them over
Head
there.
girl.
Head
What you
girl.
call it? Head girl. I felt like she was a head girl.
Our deputy head girl.
Minerva.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, Minerva was I admired
But
Minerva a
yeah,
whole
yeah,
lot,
Minerva's sister was in the same year. Jennifer.
Jennifer, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But because Minerva she was a very free spirit,
Mm-hmm.
but very, very businesslike and you know, relatable. And of course, she was a scholar.
Mm-hmm.
She took our
Our
schoolwork
schoolwork's
very
far more
seriously.
serious than you and I. So yes.
Yeah, yes. So I remember admiring Minerva. And later on in life, prior to leaving Jamaica, she became my neighbor. She was my neighbor. She moved. And I know she's a physician. She lived in front of me. So Minerva, I remember very well. As to teacher, honestly, I can't think of anybody offhand.
And no coaches never inspire you at all. No track and field coach or no netball
Yeah,
coach.
man. Yeah, man. We had coaches, but Jesus, how me
The memory I
remember
slip
name
you.
now? Yeah, like me say, through my medical memories so far, and I never kept it going.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just can't. I just can't
It's
remember.
like a
I can't.
blur. It's like after 80,
It's
it's
like
like a different life completely. Yeah, yeah.
exactly, and then so much go on after Meadowbrook,
Mm-hmm. No,
that.
but me ask you something then though. Since you put it away there. When Meadowbrook started to do well in sports in the 1980s, you were not aware of it at all then. When you were talking with them thing up on the
No,
podcast, and news to you.
no. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. News to me.
Yeah,
News to me. Because
and
I never had no Meadowbrook connection. You know what I say?
mm-hmm,
You see,
mm-hmm,
like how my husband still have him bridging them from Excelsior,
mm-hmm.
and them him keep them. They stay in the loop. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
man, I
So
mean, I
they
know when
know what's
Excelsior play a
going on.
Money Cup match or oh, good them are doing a Money Cup or so.
Yes,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yes. I didn't have that connection anymore. Hence, I didn't really know what was going on. Meaning, I would love to walk back on that campus now and see what it looks like today.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I would love to,
mm-hmm.
but it's just not something that I push for, and because I don't have no connection there, it's like, how do I walk back into the school, that kind of thing, but just totally disconnected from it.
I don't know.
If you go to Jamaica, you just walk back. Just walk right through the gate and say, I'm a past student, and you would be welcomed. Everybody have done it.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
What you say? What Sharon bring up is a valuable point, because I can say, yeah, what you're voicing there, Sharon, a lot of students probably feel the same like you. They've been out of touch for so long. As I tell you,
Yeah.
I was out of touch too, as I put it in a witness protection for so long. But because I had connection with the sports like your husband, so I could have just go to Jamaica and call some of the man who used to play sports and say, "Well, may I go up to the school?"
Aye,
So
nice.
it look
Yeah.
different, you know. It look different for
Yeah.
me because of the sports connection. So it make a big difference. So Margaret, it's a challenge, you know, and I can identify the challenge that Sharon is saying. A lot of people find it. And
No. Don't get me wrong, you know. I wasn't always as connected either, you know. I wasn't always as connected. I connected in 2009, I think it was, through Facebook.
Right. So is there a Meadowbrook page or something, Margaret? How you connect to Facebook? Just that
there
your
are a couple of
Facebook
pages.
profile says Meadowbrook High School graduate or something?
There's a Meadowbrook High School New York chapter.
Right.
I
I
can't remember.
know,
Let me find out and I'll send the things.
like I told you, I have been invited by that chapter to come to something there, and I felt like I was good to go until, you know, at the last minute I was like,
You get cold
I don't-
feet.
yeah, I'm like, I'm not gonna know anybody, so I'm just gonna walk.
And if you had
place
gone,
and-
you'd have probably find people, you know, because that's how I really got back connected to the school. It's
yeah,
through going to one of their functions. And then so many
Really?
different people. Yeah, man, and I meet new people that just because we went to Meadowbrook, we feel like family and we connect.
and that's really how it should be, you know. That's really
Yeah.
how it
but
should
you know what,
be.
Sharon, I'm going to say this to the two of you. This conversation going to make a world of difference, you know. 'Cause I will tell you why. Right?
Yeah,
People see you from a distance, you know. And in a sense, they probably feel, believe it or not, probably intimidated to even call you. Just like how you kind of feel shy if it's errated. I wonder how them feel about me, or I wonder if me go welcome. And because they go hear the conversation and it's like, what, talk like a Meadowbrook the same way. So it's going to make a difference.
Yeah.
These conversations where we're talking, when people hear you talk, and I say, but rated, I see the same one that, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of people reach out to me through social, you know, that I interacted with in my younger life. And when I write them back, they're like, "Oh my God, you responded!"
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So to my talk,
Yeah, and I'm like, "What?
you know, change. Are you same one? Exactly.
No,
Exactly, Sharon. Exactly.
same one.
Exactly.
Yeah, me
Exactly.
same
And
one.
then you have the ones like me, and from our year, from like who started in 78 and 79, who follow you on social media. And I have two
Right.
people who said I actually stalk her on social media.
No, man, them can write me anytime. I respond to everybody. And sometimes I lose track, though, but I always respond. Always respond.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. That is so
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Because
Always respond.
when I wrote to you, I did it not expecting a response. I just said, let me take a chance because I realized how busy you are.
Yeah.
So
But
I
no,
said, let
man.
me just take a chance and see if she would respond. And I responded. And I was very, very surprised when you responded.
No, man, I stay connected to people, you know, and I treat people how I want to be treated. And so, you know, I try my best to respond, because if people take the time to write me, you know, and I mean, most of the times, 99% of the times people write me, it's complimentary, or, you know, they're trying to get information based on something they say a post or whatever. Why wouldn't I respond? You know?
Yeah.
And I can verify that, Sharon, because I got your number from Hitchcock, and for the longest while, me a text, but me miss off a number like me I said it should be 3 and a 4 me have. Says until Margaret said to me, say, me have your number. I say, yeah, me get number from Hitchcock. I'm a text him, I say, but when you respond to me, I'm say, Margaret, get the number for me. And that's so when me realize, right, to me mix up the number. And Sharon responded to me right away.
When Margaret say you've been trying to reach out to me about something, so I say, well, I've had the same number since '96.
No,
so
right, I'm my right. Me correct.
Yes,
me make sure you understand now, Sharon. It's not nothing to do at all. Me write on the wrong number somewhere along the way.
I knew you had the wrong number, because my number hasn't changed since I moved to the United States in 1996, and I've had the same number. And the reason I haven't changed my number is because I want to stay connected. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hiding from anybody. You know what I'm saying? So the only difference is that if the number come up and I don't recognize it, you can text me. Or
leave a message, right? This is what I do.
Yeah.
When I talk to people I'm gonna meet for a while, I just text them and say, well, I identify myself as this is so and so.
Yeah.
And that you have an identity. Yeah.
We're in the age of spam.
Yeah,
So you get a whole
definitely.
lot of spam calls. And then, of course, sometimes I get calls that I really don't want because, my telephone number might be published somewhere and somebody calling for different reasons that I don't care to have a conversation. But other than that, no,
No,
man.
Sharon, I'm like
I'm
you. If the number call, I'm gonna know it and not saving on my phone, me not answer it. Leave a text. Say not tell me
Send
nothing
me
me
a
not do at
text.
all. Me not tell me nothing
Yes.
me not do. Text me, I leave a message and me say me call you back. I saw that work.
100%.
Me not change
100%.
when it come to that at all.
Yeah.
But me ask you another question though. And this one I know,
Yeah.
this is not a memory question, this is a feeling question. So it might be this you can answer. How it make you feel I bring up back all the Meadowbrook memories there after all these years?
Listen, man, from I talk to Margaret, and I embrace the fact that I'm going to come on this podcast and talk to you. I mean, I've been tingling. My husband's ears can't get a break because all the time his ears can't take a break. There's a feeling of excitement of just being connected, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an amazing feeling. And like I say, I did everything that I had to do to make sure that I had the time to sit down here. I told my kids, I said, don't call me, I'll be off the air until I call you guys. This is what I'm going to do. And they're like, oh, that's amazing, So no, it's been a beautiful feeling, and I'm excited to be reconnected with you guys. And I hope that it won't end here, and I'll be a part of something that will change the lives of children at Meadowbrook High School.
Going forward, yeah.
And going forward, yeah.
Yeah. And as you mentioned that I spoke to the principal and his conversation coming out this year, the current principal, and he has plans to develop a big sports complex. Not a big, but let me just say a sports complex on a bottom field.
Right? Okay, bottom field still there.
Yeah. But we're gonna lose it if we're gonna lose it if we not use it. And put it plain and simple.
So they don't use it anymore?
Not in the way we used to use it, Sharon. Not in the way we used to use it. So it's like
where them practice to run track and field and sports there and them thing there.
Don't ask me because I don't know. I go down this week because I have a function this week and all them way there. I'm going to see the principal. But the principal have vision and him understand what going on. And you hear him conversation come out this Friday, you understand. Okay. So him fully embrace the fact say a big picture, something big, something substantial need to put down a bottom field. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And that in a way, the conversation I expand a whole heap on what I talk about. Yeah, so I don't want to preempt the principal, and then I'm going to talk to him.
Sure.
When I go down this week.
When you're there.
Yeah, man, one-on-one, me and some other people going to talk to him and say exactly okay and take it. Because I think it's like most of the time you want the things, but it's like you have to have the big vision,
Yeah.
You can't
you have visionaries and you have people who can carry out
but you have to put the vision in front of people. You can't just say why you want to buy football and gears to the people them every year. That's not a vision. God bless.
No.
God bless them. I'm not disrespect nobody. I make sure to tell them that every time I talk about that.
Sure.
But you have to have the big vision, man. To carry it, to build a momentum where substantial people can come in and say, yeah, man, this is what we're going to do. When we leave here, when we're not there around here 35, 40 years, we know so we'll put something in place, so boy, you can remember. Yeah, man.
To help others.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No. So you will hear more about that, Sharon. This is just the beginning, as you say. I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad you get motivated and for come back and come talk. Because, as you say, I don't know, you alone feel away there now. When I spoke to, but may I ask a question this way? You never even aware so Meadowbrook had one Rhodes Scholar in the 1980s either?
No, not at all.
Because you and Cavell would have been in the same class.
Me and who?
Cavell Creighton. I don't remember Cavell.
I don't know that name.
Cavell may be a year younger than you, so maybe I'm wrong about that. Cavell and Andrea Wright was in the same class. That Andrea Wright, Karen Wright. May I get it right, Margaret?
I think Cavell and Andrea were in the same year.
Yeah, so Cavell was a year below you. So, but the point is, even when you want 2 Rhodes Scholar in the 80s, you're not aware right at all. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
I'll be very honest. No, I wasn't.
I didn't know when I started running off a mouth and broadcast, and this is how I would do. That's so much people never aware of this at all, Sharon. So it is.
Yeah, yeah.
But we'll fix
No,
that.
man, what you're doing is amazing. What you're doing, Prince, is amazing. I know it's gonna move the dial. Um, and like I say, I'm excited to be here tonight, talking to you and Margaret. And it's just going to grow from strength to strength, and I know it. I can feel
Amen.
it, you know.
Yes,
I can
awesome.
feel it.
Mm-hmm. So, what life lesson you learn at Meadowbrook you pass on to your family and your friends?
Life lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say, to seize the opportunity at hand. I wish I could say it from experience. I said that to say that, I should have done more while I was at Meadowbrook. But what it did teach me was something that, I taught my daughters about seizing the opportunity that you're faced. Like play the cards that you're dealt, you know? And so I use that, my experience at Meadowbrook, where I don't think I fulfill my true potential, to make sure that even when my daughters were in school, one of the things that we ensured that they couldn't do anything else unless they had a 4.0 GPA. So even Sanya knew that no matter how she loved sports, she had to have a 4.0 GPA to be able to run track, you know?
Where you say
So,
you never gonna make where your mother them allow you to do that. You never gonna make that happen at all.
no, no, no,
I don't blame you,
no,
no. You
no.
never want what you go through, she go through at all. You say, no, you have to do the two of them, yeah.
You have to balance the two of them, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
And I must ask you this though. I must have to ask you this because when your daughter fulfilled the dream of being Olympic champion, how did that make you feel?
Ooh, words can't describe, because people see the glory, but they don't see the pain. They don't see the tears. They don't see the disappointment and the hard work, the perseverance, the naysayers, the people who tell you that you can't do it, and all of that. And we live that, you know. We live that, and as you know, like them say, the higher you climb, the higher monkey climb, the more whatever,
More exposed,
and
yeah.
more you're exposed. And so we went through a lot with her, because not only were we her parents, we were her management team, we were her confidant, we were her role models. And so, the day she crossed that, and of course, she started chasing that dream since she was 9, because at Vast Prep, she wrote an essay and said she wanted to be an Olympic champ.
Wow.
And she started chasing that dream at age 9. So, when she crossed that line first in London, um, we literally broke down. We literally broke down in tears. We cried happy tears. We cried. The kind of emotion that we felt as a family was indescribable, because we knew the kind of dedication, hard work, focus that it took for her to accomplish that goal. So it's a day in our lives that we'll never forget, because it was a group effort, not because our daughter was talented and she achieved her goal, but it felt like a family goal, because we had kind of given up a lot to make her the best that she could be, and to fulfill a dream that she had when she penned that at age 9.
I know, a powerful about what I say, Sharon, is like, it's a chance to take a certain way, because at any time, injury could have cut it short,
100%.
And,
I'll tell you further. I was working in corporate America, and she called me at my job when she just signed her Nike contract. And she said to me, Mom, I need you. I said, What do you mean I need me? She says, I want you to manage my career. And I said to her, What do you mean by manage your career? She said, I want you to go on the road with me. I said, Sonny, I cannot leave my job and take that risk. And she said, Mom, I promise you, I'm going to make you proud. I promise you, you will never look back. And I left my job based on the word of a 17-year-old who had a vision that she was going to be the best in the world and that it was okay for me to leave my job and travel the world with her. And I've never looked back.
Yeah, man. I'm glad say it work out for him. The whole of Jamaica glad say it work out for him. And Meadowbrook, as usual, I'm going to embrace that same because as we saying at the introduction, your daughter take both you and Archie talent in a way. It's like on a talented athlete, so I wasn't surprised at all. I was not surprised at all. So yeah, no.
You know,
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Margaret.
I was a fan of hers for years, not realizing that she was Sharon's daughter.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
It's only a few
found
years
out
ago I find
later.
out that she was your
Yeah.
daughter, you know.
Yeah, I think just the social media connection. I mean, even now people still write me and say, "Oh my God, we had no idea you were Sonia's mom." You know,
Mhm.
so yeah, I believe that to be true. But yeah,
And that's amazing how she called you and said, "Mommy, I need you, just come." And
yeah.
you felt it in your spirit that yes, this will work out, and you just go. That's awesome. That is
Well,
awesome. That's a leap of
also
faith.
not even it was a leap of faith, Margaret, but it wasn't even the fact that I felt it in my spirit that it would work out. But if my child needed me, that was more important to me at that
Yeah.
time in my life.
So
You know,
there wasn't a
Yeah.
choice then. It wasn't a choice at all.
it wasn't a choice.
No, you're
It was
right. It wasn't a choice, man.
it was totally uncharted waters for me that I was going into. But I prayed about it, you know, and I asked God to help me through. And a lot of times it was a little challenging for me, but I knew why I was doing it. You know, I don't like to fly. And I flew the entire world with her. And I was on pins and needles on every single flight, but I had no choice, you know, because that's what she thought she needed to be successful,
Right. Right.
you know.
And I must have to ask this, Sharon, because me like when I talk about the success, people hear about the challenges, you know. What was the most challenging part of the journey for the family?
Well, for the family, I would say the most challenging part for the family was, I mean, we embraced failure, and you know, we embraced challenges and all of that because we knew it come everything that you want to do that's great come with ups and downs. But the biggest challenge we had, or the biggest disappointment, was when she failed in 2008, when she was favored to win the 400 meters. That was a tough time for us because it was a tough time for her. And we knew that if she had to do it again, she would have to wait 4 years, you know? And of course, like you say, injuries and different reasons, people make it to one Olympics, you don't must make it to two,
No,
you know?
True.
no.
So then, as a family, we had to bond together and give her the confidence and make her know, say, this is okay. This is what God planned for you. You understand? And if you don't have test, you don't have no testimony. You know? So let's start again. You know? And so that was a tough time for us as parents, you know, to tell her all the right things. Why a 1991 favorite lost on that day. She had never lost any other race that year, and she lost on that day. That was hard to explain, you know, because we know she was prepared. It wasn't a lack of preparation, but it was just not meant to be on that day, you know? So, yeah.
Yep, powerful story, Sharon. I'm glad you're here
Yeah,
to
so
tell that.
a lot of lessons. I learned a lot of lessons from my daughter, you know? Strange enough, even as her mom, there are a lot of things that I learned throughout her entire life's journey that I can share now with other people. You
Yeah,
know,
and for the record, Sharon, how many children you have in all total?
just two,
That's
just
the
two.
two daughters.
I
Okay.
have two daughters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Sonia is the older one,
Sanya is the older, and the other one is 15 months younger.
and she never have the talent, or she never have the motivation to do the track and feel like her sister.
If I tell you we thought she was going to be the better of the two, you wouldn't believe. She had a turnover that was unbelievable. But the first time she go up on the track and rainfall and she wet her hair, she said she's not going back.
That is our mother that's a no, Margaret. That the fashion that's a no. No.
I did not expect that.
She said, I'm not getting my hair wet. Well, I'm here to tell you now that she's a hairstylist.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's true. Yeah, man, we all have a different road we have to travel, man.
Exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And when people are going to be important to them, no matter what, you can't force them, you know.
Exactly.
You can't force them. Yeah,
and that was it for her. You know, she wasn't interested after that. So, you know, we left it alone, and just like Sanya, we supported her as she decided to leave college after 2 years and pursue cosmetology. We decided, you know what, we'll support her just like we supported Sanya and make her the best cosmetologist out there.
Let me say this publicly for you and Archie. God bless you and Archie for owning to grow them, you know, because a lot of parents would have used one and force the other one to do that thing. I say, your sister do it, so you must have to do it. You know? So God bless the facts there. Open-minded enough for Sarah. No, what she want or what she want. Because some me grow my children to Sharon, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, 100%. Because, you know, like I said, we thought she would have been the better of the two. And, you know, after she said, no, I'm not wetting my hair. If it is that I have to train and rainfall and them telling me I have to run in the rain, I'm not doing that. And then we say,
you say, okay. Go ahead.
We left it at that. We left it at that, you know. And then we thought, oh, she very lippy, you know. She reasons very well and everything. So we said, oh, she can do law. And so she got to University of Texas, and after 2 years, we get a phone call, and them say them need to talk to mom and dad because now both of them are away at school, and we're like, oh Lord, somebody pregnant. And then that call was to tell us that she didn't want to pursue college anymore. She wanted to do cosmetology. And at first, Archie and I sat down and we're like, oh Lord have mercy, what is this now? And then, you know what we said to ourselves, we saw this trajectory from day one, you know? So just like Sanya said, she wanted to be an Olympic champ at age 9. She had dolls. She never had a birthday party. All she wanted was dolls. She would cut them here. She would do all kind of things. So we said, you know what? This is who she is. So let us support her. And we got behind her, and she did her thing. Got her first salon at age 22 or 23 and soared, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's another area that I love talking to parents, you know, because I think we figured it out with our girls, you know, and sometimes parents have these challenges where they want to live vicariously through their kids, which Archie and I could have done, which we didn't do, you know. We allowed them to decide, you know, what they wanted to do, and we supported them, you know.
But what are the odds, Margaret, that Sharon have 2 daughters? One is a fashionista and one is an athlete.
Isn't that amazing?
I didn't even think of it like that.
That's amazing.
I did it. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Now let me go show off to my husband. I said, you had absolutely nothing to do with these kids because I have an athlete and I have a fashionista, and that's me.
But that are you at school, Sharon. That's exactly you.
That's what I'm saying, because sometimes, you know, my husband starts to say to me, oh, we think why Sanya's so great. I'm like, sit down. Mama is all that. So now I have real facts and receipts now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's not a surprise to me at all that the two of them take after you certain enough ways. Enough
Right.
ways. That athleticism and the fashion is just, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you a younger daughter name?
Shari.
Shari, okay.
Shari.
Yeah, man. And none of the grandchildren them have no athletic ability where you see so far.
Well, first of all, I need to tell you that, you know, Sanya is married to a football player.
Yeah, man, I'm aware of that. Yeah.
Sanya's son thinks that he is the next best thing coming. You understand? Him not take no talk. You understand? Him know him great already. So it's really just a matter of what sport.
Of time. I got you.
Yeah, him don't want to lose. And him know that he's supposed to be a star already.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shari's eldest one can run. Shari's eldest one fast. So I think that we're going to have some athletes in them. And I pray that God allow Archie and I to be here to see them blossom in life.
How old are they now, Sharon?
So we have 2 6-year-olds and a 5-year-old.
Okay. All boys?
All boys. Can you imagine?
Yes.
God gave me 2 girls and then give me all sons. Yeah. But the nice thing is that them love them mama. Them call me mama, so them love them mama, you know? So
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you next Meadowbrook question here now. When we the Meadowbrook question, what message did I give to existing student at Meadowbrook now, or current teachers, or a student who are going to hear this podcast 5 years, 10 years down the road? What message did I give to them who are going Meadowbrook or at Meadowbrook now?
I would say enjoy these days, and maximize your true potential. Try to figure it out, get help, find whatever you need to be successful, because these days go by really, really fast. And for the most part, after you miss these days, you can't get them back. So that's what I would say. Stay the course. Use every resource that's available to you. Ask questions as to how, if something is not obvious, as to how it can help you, like with the young lady's podcast that I listened to yesterday, where she talked about all the different companies and scholarships and help that she got to get her to where she is today.
Yeah, Sophia Bryant.
I can't stop talking about her. There are things out there. There are things that's there to help you. But if you don't ask, and you will never know. So that's all I have to say. Don't walk away with any regrets.
Yeah, Sophia is a superstar. When I spoke to her, that's why I felt about her to Sharon. So yeah.
Yeah. She really, really, really. I listened to the podcast twice, if I'm gonna be honest, because I thought, man, this young lady is a real
special,
superstar, like you said.
Yeah. Margaret, you have any question? Because there's a couple more questions now for Sharon before I ask her. I will one more question before I ask Sharon the last question.
No, I think we're good. No, man, you can go ahead.
Well, before I ask you the last question, Sharon, is there any question or topic where I could have bring up that I didn't bring up at all, where you want to talk about? The floor is yours, then. We'll put it that way. Anything where you want to talk about, where you think, say, the one Prince never asked me that, I want to talk about it.
No, sir. I think we had a good conversation. I think, we touched on even more things than I thought we would. So I don't think so.
Margaret, do you have any question or anything where you think we could have asked Sharon I didn't?
No, I think you covered everything.
So, yeah, man, we talk about everything.
Yeah, man, we cover whole heap of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Around to cover. But may I ask you the last question then, Sharon? What made Meadowbrook magical?
What made Meadowbrook magical? I would say a mixture, meaning of kids from all walks of life come together in a very small school, and we were all friends. I never felt like anybody felt less than. Like Sophia said yesterday, is the first place she had gone and see white Jamaicans, Chinese, and everything. So I think that was what made Meadowbrook magical, and especially because it was such a small school. You look forward to the Meadowbrook family, meaning to being at school. It was different. It was a different kind of vibe. Yeah, I would say.
Say Donovan Carr said the same thing, and he passed on earlier
I heard.
this year.
Strange enough, I spoke to Donovan Carr. Remember when I told you I was supposed to go to New York to that gala or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Donovan Carr was one of the people I was in touch with when I thought I was gonna go. So man, I was brokenhearted when I heard. I'd heard that he was ill for a while though, right?
Yeah, man, he was ill,
Yes.
and I had him on the podcast about 6 months before he passed, and
Wow.
him said
Yeah.
him said the same thing in Sharon. Him said the first time, him said Jelly, and the first me ever come a place, and I said Chinese, I said white people, it's not to do, and him feel at home and comfortable. That was a mix of Meadowbrook. It's like when you walk through that gate, man, like all that will became one.
Right. Yeah. Like that. Like our motto says, out of many, one people.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. That was Meadowbrook for sure.
Yeah. It was. Sharon, before I close out the program, let me ask both on if we have any closing remarks before I close out today's show. Yeah.
No, I just once again want to say that this is amazing what you're doing, Prince. Lots of respect to you for doing this. This was needed, and I hope it will grow from. Well, I know it will grow from strength to strength because I see it. Because this is your podcast now, 70 something or 80?
No, 70 something for the record, Sharon. 70 something that has been released. Actually, your one today is 100.
Wow. And like you said, this was not your intention when you first started,
No.
Yeah.
But I've
so this is fantastic. Yeah, kudos to you. And thank you for having me, Margaret. Thank you for sending me that DM. And I really enjoyed talking to you. And I look forward to hearing more and being involved in some way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Thank you, sir. And Margaret, then the closing remark before I close out the program here.
Yes, I want to say again, thank you, Jelly, for having me experience these conversations firsthand before it come out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was so excited when Sharon said yes, like super excited. Because Sharon, as Jelly said, you're admired by both males and females. You know how you said when you came into first form, you looked up to the sixth formers?
Mm-hmm.
You were that for us.
Wow.
You were. We
Thanks
looked up
for sharing
to you.
that. I had no idea.
Yeah. You were that for
so.
us.
Yeah. I hope I made you all proud.
You sure did. And we appreciate you. And we appreciate that you're still grounded, because you could have a big head because you raised an not just raised, you birthed an Olympic champion.
Thank you. And it's an Olympic champion who is also herself very grounded, very normal, very approachable. And I think we try to instill that in her. So I hope the people who have met her and who know her will see her mother in her, if this is who you guys see me as. Thank you.
Yeah, and
you're very welcome. And thank you again for saying yes. And
my pleasure.
I look forward to us sharing this conversation. Can't wait for everybody to hear it.
No, and I won't make it.
And you,
go ahead,
you
Sharon.
have my numbers. You have my numbers. So no longer, you don't have to DM me anymore. Just hit me up.
Thank you.
When you want to loop me into anything or keep me abreast of anything.
Yeah, man. This can't go only for places, Sharon. It's like Margaret at the connector. That's like come me a connect a whole people through the podcast. Margaret at the connector behind the scenes, and we can I whole heap of things we can't familiar, because I said I'm in contact with the principal for do a certain things where him want to, not what me want to. Him have my vision for the certain things. And I'm going to send you Martin podcast, because when you're Martin podcast, you see why me and Margaret inspired and really feel good about we do something like that. There is no reason why something like that cannot be done. I made it pretty soon.
Looking forward to getting that.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, ladies, this has been an extra special conversation. I love it. And even though because I want more girls, come on.
Nice.
You see what
Okay.
I'm saying? So
Okay.
I now apologize. I said, no, man, females to the head of the line. That's what I've done a lot of them. You see what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
And some of them, yeah, I make that decision and decide that some of the conversation I want out before others. So, and nobody now feel no way because eventually all of them will come out. So,
Right.
it shouldn't be no issue at all. So, I hope not. So, but anyway,
All right. Well, keep me
Sharon,
posted.
yeah, man, this has been
Yes.
Sharon Robinson Richards.
Rich.
And, oh, you use both names Sharon or you just a Sharon
No.
Richards?
No, it's not Sharon Richards' husband. Never played the Robinson Richards.
Oh, no,
thing.
but make sure respect him assert me. No, right.
Yeah. No, Richard.
I don't want to hear. No, I'm that old fashioned. I love that. Yes. But to everybody know he has Robinson. That's why I'm saying it anyway. It's not a disrespect to him at all. Or
Not at all. No, and he wouldn't see that either.
Right.
He
But
wouldn't
you
see
have to
that either.
identify it, right? Because most people are going to know it that
Yeah.
way there. Right.
As Robinson. Yeah.
Right.
Man. Yeah, man.
Right. So it has been a pleasure. And Margaret Livermore, as ever, this has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. Thank you both for coming and spend almost 2 hours, Sharon. Just 10 minutes short of 2 hours.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, man. My pleasure.
God bless
pleasure.
all the way, and God bless that great school at 2 Meadowbrook Avenue. We can have them conversation like we still in Meadowbrook 40
Yes,
years
indeed.
later. So have a good night, and God bless us
All
all,
right,
and
guys.
God bless Meadowbrook High School.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Amen.
Blessings
Good
and
night.
love to you both.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Thank you,
good
Sharon.
night.
You too.
Thank you, Margaret.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, man. Cool.
Bye-bye.
So remember to like, share, and subscribe these Meadowbrook Memories podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another Meadowbrook conversation. Thanks. Thanks for listening to Meadowbrook Memories, and remember to give us all the support and encouragement you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. And special thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, this podcast would not be possible. It is his expertise that allows me to do what I love doing every week, having great conversations about Meadowbrook memories, and he's responsible for everything else. So again, thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince.